Welcome, wonderful, wise teachers and educators. My name is Nick, and my motto is let's make it simple for students so they can learn. Let's make it simple for teachers so they can do what they do best. In the event of our school going off campus and online due to the COVID-19 virus, I've made this video and a couple of others to help you make a course that will connect with your class pages. And so sit back, get comfortable, grab a pen and paper if you need, grab a hot beverage of your choice, and remember you can pause this video at any time by pressing K or the spacebar. You can go backwards and forward with the letters J and L on your keyboard. You can turn on subtitles if you'd like, and you can even slow me down if I'm talking too fast. So today we're making a logical course in Chiltern Central and connecting it to your class page in the correct way. So let's go ahead and go to Schoolbox. These are my classes. As you can see, I have some upcoming assignments on Year 7 and Year 9, and Year 9 Digital Media has these ones too. Alongside with everything else, we need to understand what's going on with a class that changes from year to year with particular students and a course that won't change. So you might see over here under courses, there's all the courses that we offer. In fact, there's some that we don't offer anymore and they're still around. Anything with level 2 or level 3, for example, we don't teach anymore. And there's some other ones there that probably don't need to be there anymore. Anyway, how do we connect it? So let's go back up to the top. These are my classes. Now, in another video, I said that we should keep things pretty much fun and engaging and taking them to other places on the internet that we want our students to go. In my case, I really make use of YouTube a lot. I want the kids to be able to go to the Cambridge syllabus straight there because it's not a straightforward site, and it's good if I can take them directly to the relevant syllabus. I do use Pinterest like other art teachers, but it's not just for art teachers. It's anything visual. It's basically like posters on the wall, and this might be useful for a whole host of subjects. Google Classroom is very useful for a long row of information, and it's also useful for relief. And of course, what I think everyone should have is a button to connect with their one single digital room that they will be hosting all of their classes regardless of who comes to that class, and marking them with synergetic to be either present, absent, or late. I've got course outline up here, which is a PDF, not a Word document, but a PDF that can be seen on a browser at full quality. But I'll talk about that in another video. What I want to talk about now is in fact how to connect this to a course, because this is a class and it's not totally straightforward. So we've gone to the class page, and what we're going to go is we're going to do this plus thing to add components. Now before I begin, I might need to also add that in my opinion I think it's best for the HODs to make the courses and the individual teachers taking the classes to do the class pages. There will be less courses than classes because for example, in the art and design department, we have 2 Year 7 classes, 2 Year 8 classes, and 2 Year 9 classes, but they will all be connected to one single course. Right, so let's just go to AS Digital Media, which is a Year 12 class. What we're going to do is we're going to do this plus, add a component, and we're actually going to go to Course Builder, which you find in Learning, Course Builder. Now under Course Builder, this component works on unit pages to create activities to import to your classes. And that's why I said don't worry about making due work on here, tasks on here, all the other things. You can all do it through this Course Builder because you really want to take them away, because this is where it gets a little bit dry and a little bit less engaging. So you go to the course list, and I'm now going to find AS, hopefully it'll come up, Digital Media Design. But that's the 2019 one, but that's okay because I can easily change that. And really the only units I'm working on here are the supporting studies, of which there are many, and that kind of goes into its own thing. So I'm going to go save course, and you'd assume that that would have worked. But if we go back to AS Digital Media, we still don't have that connected. So this is actually how you do it. Let me do it again. You find it, don't click on it. Go to those three dots over here and go import into classes. Now you go to this page. So we're actually literally connecting, like shaking hands, from AS Digital Media Design to this class. There's nothing there, but we're going to find it. And hopefully you remember what you call your own class. AS Digital Media Design. Yeah. Okay, cool. I called it the same as what it is. And after this code is a whole lot of stuff, and that is all the people that on Synergetic are coming into that. Because again, that's class, and that changes from year to year. All right. So we're importing that. What am I importing? I'm importing the supporting studies. When do I want it open by? Well, to be honest with you, it kind of started all the way back in January. So I put 28th of January for a lot of stuff. Up and before then, I was just sort of not really doing much. And close, that's going to be in November. But I'm going to put, actually, for now, I'm just going to make a 2nd of October. All right? Next. Cool. And now I'm going to go import. All right, now let's see if that worked. I go back to class, back to AS Digital Media, and sure enough, here are the first two. I have 8 students in total. The first 2 common assessment tasks are Haunted VCR and Tone Poem. And inside of here are all the details about that particular thing. Where to find old footage, the cartoon, the time-lapse, the stop motion, digital analog noise, spoken word, blah, blah, blah. I've even got a document here that they can open up, which explains exactly what I want them to do, etc., etc., etc. So that is not totally counterintuitive, you see. I also have some converters so that's a link. Same thing with the tone poem, although I've set that up a little bit differently, but effectively the same. Fade in, fade out, straight cut, dissolve, smash cut, wipe cut, blah, 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 blah. And again, the downloadable document, which explains what I'd like them to do and how I'd like them to do it. So that's not totally straightforward, you see. Okay, that's cool. If I was doing a junior class, for example, year 7, I have these in an upcoming assignment, and that's because I've already connected it to that course and class. The same thing with year 9 digital media, somewhere else on the page, but they have here, is it a computer, which closed a week ago, and the internet cloud cable, which closed a day ago. I'm going to put some more stuff on there now, and but I'm going to do that through the course, because the course won't change much. The dates will change, the resources won't change, but it's the class that changes year to year, and the class you'll need to redesign. That's why I think it's important that our course pages, if I just go to this is the course outline, if I go to this, sometimes I don't really do that much here in terms of what I'm actually making on this for the course. The class is very simplistic as well, really, but it takes them to a lot of live areas, and it's not that onerous to remake these tiles and connect it again. Okay, so if I look at my year 7 class now, we've got the tiles at the top, Zoom meeting. I've got this thing called due work, which I've just put in here. These 2 things to do with this musical that the girls have been helping out with, that's about to close in 2 weeks, and 0 out of 20 students have completed that. So how did I make this, and how have I got these other 3 works? Collage, self-portrait, lino cut print, and the collaborative art project. They're all brought into the class. So how did I do that? So first off, what I did is I went to courses rather than anything else. Went to 7 art, design I should say, and in here I made these units. And inside the unit, I made due work. And inside the due work, well, I don't want to make another one, so I'm not going to. But I decided how much they were going to weigh. And I saved it all. The cool thing now is that when I went back into class and I connected that course to the class, these appeared. If I go to these three dots at the top here, I can go to a thing called Markbook. And now I can see there's the whole class. And these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, 2 in the first term and 1 per term after that. All done. When I mark these or click onto them, I can decide on the percentage mark. They're all in percentages. That's how we do it. And I can also give feedback for those particular students based on what they got. All right, let's go see how I can make another one. So let's do 8 art now. 8 art and design. And I have one here, but I don't really want to call it that. So I'm just going to open this up. And this is actually made of 3 different things: imaginary desert, imaginary street scene, and imaginary room. And I may keep that the same, but it's all under imaginary perspective. All right. So I'm okay with that. But I'm going to make another one here, and that's going to be called optical illusions. I'm going to go create unit, and under this I'm going to go new due work. I'm going to be really boring, and I'm just going to call it the title of the due work exactly the same. I can always come back and put more in, but sometimes I'm not sure about putting all of my resources up into Children's Central. I like putting grades in here. What I always do is I don't accept online submissions. Activity duration will be 10, if I'm not mistaken. Optical illusions will be 20% of the overall grade. Only the staff and students can, and what's going to be a mark, it's going to be a percentage. So now I've got 2, an imaginary perspective and this. I just go into this to check what I put for this. So this one I put a little bit more effort into. And these have activities. The important thing is that it comes through in the overall course. So let me just, sorry, I'm bouncing around here. So now I've got that. I'm going to add another one here, which is going to be called surreal scale. Create it. Make a due work. Surreal scale. Surreal scale. 10. Oh, sorry, I should stick within this one. Uh, 10. And surreal scale will actually be 30% of variable grade. Percentage, yep. I'm going to create that. I need to get that first one. Alright, cool, that's great. And the last one, larger than life, actually there's 2 more. The water droplets, painting unit, and I'm going to call that exactly the same. That's going to be only 5 weeks, or 5, sorry. And waiting for that will only be 10%. Cool. And I'm actually going to make another one which is called larger than life in bloom, which is how we finish the year at year 8. Create a unit, copy that, and you do work. Now, you can be a lot more interesting with what you put in here, but I'm just going to be a bit boring. The weighting is going to be 10%. Alright, cool. Right, now I'm just going to check that this is all alright. So I'm just going to check imaginary desert. Weighing 20%. No, that is not right. That is going to be only 5. Like, I might even change that completely. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. So let's just go back to what I made there, which is in year 8 art. So I've got imaginary perspective, optical illusion, serial scale, large life, water droplets, and large life, and bloom. The other thing that is not in here is the musical plans for the backdrops. And I'm going to make G-Wave. I'm also going to call it that. And the weighting will only be 10% in this class. And we've also got the backdrop assistance, because we are also marking the girls on their collaboration and cooperation during that very difficult project. That's only going to be 10% as well. Reflection, just like 6% as well. There we go. I think what I should do here is I'm just going to change that to 5%. There's another part where they're doing something else that is only going to be 5% as well. In the imaginary room, we're going to do this at 10%. There we go, that's better. Alright, cool, so I can close all that now. And one last thing to go back into 8 art. Just to check all this. Now, as you can see, there are no, even if we go into this, no one ever really goes onto this page, so we don't really need to do much about it. So let's go into here. This is 8S. I'm going to go into courses now. Oh, sorry, whoops. No. I'm going to go into, sorry, I got mixed up. I'm going to go into course builder. Come on. Alright, there we go. And we're going to go to the course list, and we're going to do this little thing. And this is again, it's in a counterintuitive sort of way of doing it. So you have to be careful. So you go 8 art, design. You don't click on it, you go to the 3 dots, and you go import into classes. Now, there are 2 8 classes. They're called Year 8 Visual 8C and Year 8S Visual. So both of them will have the same thing. Now this is when it gets interesting. Select, yep, we want them all. Now, musical, I'm putting the dates in at beginning at very early in the year. It was sort of like 27th of January. I'm going to close that on the 9th of April. Same thing with these ones. The imaginary perspective is going to open up on the 28th of April. And it's going to close on the 3rd of July. Same thing with this one, because they kind of work in conjunction with each other in terms of their learning. Serial scale is going to start on the 27th of July. Close on the 21st of September. And the Lives and Life droplets are going to start on the 12th of October and run all the way until the 4th of December. Cool, that's all the due dates now. Go next. Yeah, don't know worried about course, and just go import. Cool. So now that will appear. Now, just like I said with year 7, that'll appear here. Oh, it's right at the top. And it's in order as they are needed to be. So due in April 9. I've got 16 students in this class. None of them have done it. That's okay. I'm going to rename this due work. And I'm going to get rid of this, the course builder, which appears, which is unnecessary. And when it's in this mode, I can move things around. I should call that the course outline. Just a link. So yeah, I think that looks the same as the year 7 class. Tiles and then due work. Oh no, it doesn't. Sorry, I'll change that. So it goes tile and then due work, and then the course outline. Okay, getting there. That's better. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so now let's just have a look. So in year 7, I've got my tiles, the zoom, the due work, the dates. Inside of here for Markbook, I can see everything that's due, and I can enter those grades, percentages, and comments. Brilliant. Same thing with 8. When they're due, I go into this to go to Markbook, and I can see all of those are due. A little bit more complicated with that class, but that's great. And with year 9, to say Markbook, and you see all this out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit simpler, but an uneven distribution of how much it's worth, because this one is worth 30% of the whole grade, which is the self-portrait. So now I've got to do one a little bit more complicated, year 9 digital media, which has not run before. It's a bit technical. They've got this as a computer and the internet, cloud, and cable, and I want to clean this up a little bit. So first of all, I'm not going to call this links. I'm going to call this the course outline, because that's what it is. And the course outline should probably go below these tiles, which makes more sense to me. And these should not be called course outlines, so I'm just going to get rid of them. That's fine, that's fine. But let's make something a bit more meaningful. So if we go into plus, we'll go into learning, course builder. Go to the course list to create a course. I don't need to do that. But anyway, so what is it called? It's year 9. Or maybe it's not. Digital media. No. What's it called? Year 9 digital. 9 digital. 9 digital technology. Okay, cool. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to find. So we're going to go here. We're going to go import into classes. Where do we want to take it? Well, we want to take it into something that's not really called the same, but we're just going to have to remember. So we're taking year 9 digital technology into year 9 digital media. There's not another year 9 digital media class. It's just one class, unlike the art classes that have 2. All right. And do I want to take these units through? As a matter of fact, I do. And I can decide when they are open. So, but before I do that, just so I don't complicate things further, I'm actually getting it out of here. I'm just going to go back to that course. Now I know what it's called. Digital Tech. Year 9 Digital Technology. Right, here we go. Now, these are the units. And inside this, I only have one of those. And so I don't want to make more due work. The computer. Let's modify it. Let's have a look. There's the stuff. Megabytes for computer. Now the weighting. I'm now going to make that 5. Just staff and students. Percentage. Yeah. The internet, cloud, or cable. I'm going to modify this. That's all the stuff I gave them. And that's going to be a weighting of 10. That's right. Staff and students. Percentage. Yep. Cool. So far, so good. Now I'm going to make another one here, which we're just about to start. E-waste. and obsolescence. Did I spell that right? Obsolescence. There we go. And create unit. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it into due work with the same title, the same description. And the weighting is only 5% of the total. Just staff and students. There we go. Great. Another one done. Now, what have we got? Blender, which will be most of what we're doing in term 2. Blender, make a snowman. Inside this, it'll be Blender, make a snowman, Blender, make a snowman. And the weighting is going to be 10. Just staff and students, percentage. Cool. Another one. It's going to be Blender, chessboard, and wrecking ball. That'll be fun. Inside of this, I'm going to make due work. I'm going to call it that and that. Same. I can always add more to it. The weighting of this will be 20% though. It's a little bit harder to code. Staff and students can look at that. Great. Cool. Another one is going to be Blender Goldberg machine. You do work, call it the same thing, call it the same thing. I can always go back and make it more complicated when I give them those things. Just start with students. It's percentage as well. Great. Then that'll be it for 3D animation. We'll move on to 3D print object. Inside that unit, I'll have some due work. 3D print object, 3D print object. This is only going to be worth 5. It's not very hard, to be honest. You just have to concentrate on one thing, really. But we'll do it anyway, just to use the 3D printer. 30-second video challenge. Inside the unit, there'll be some work. Waiting for this is going to be 10. It's actually quite hard. A couple of things involved. Just staff and students, percentage, yeah. Great. Using the large format printer. And so here there's going to be some due work as well. The rating for that's only going to be 5. It's about as hard as using a 3D printer. Possibly easier, really. Here we go. Safety online, and inside that will be safety online. Oh. It's only going to be worth 5%. Great. And the last one is digital citizenship. That'll be 5 as well. Hopefully that adds up to 100%. Alright, cool. So once you've got all your units in and you're happy with it, you can go save. Let's just see if it's there. 9, digital, technology. And we're going to go import into classes. Which class? Yeah. 9. Digital media. So it's slightly got a different name. Yes, next. And then how many units? Well, we want to do them all. So there's quite a few things going on. The computer started way back in January, and it closed on Friday, February. The internet router cable basically started immediately after that. That was sort of like the 2nd of March. And it's basically gonna be marked this coming Monday. E-Waste is gonna start immediately after that on, say, the 24th of March. And this is gonna go all the way until the 9th of April. Blender Make a Snowman is going to start on the 28th of April, as is the Blender Chessman, Chessboard I should say, and the Goldberg Machine are all going to start on the 28th of April. And they're all going to be due the 3rd of July. .3D print object is going to be starting on the 27th of July. Yep. As is that. That. I can always change these dates later, but it's a good ballpark figure to kind of get the idea across of which is happening in which term. Otherwise things can quickly get messy. And Safety Online is going to start on the 12th of October. A lot of this will kind of cover the stuff that we did in the first term anyway. It'll be a good way to round out the year, ending with what we first started talking about. Alright, and next they're all in 2020. Yes, 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 yes. Import them in. And then if we go back to the class, they should be there. And they are right up the top. This unit closed 3 weeks ago. And if we look in Markbook, I've already given them that grade. And the class is doing pretty well. And tomorrow, the internet cloud or cable will be graded. And then we'll move on to everything else after that. Though, I think I may have possibly given them too many. But hopefully that explains basically what we need to do. I'm going to call this, again, I'm going to call this due work. I like to have the same look on all of my classes. The due work is going to be after the buttons, and I don't need a course builder anymore. If I go into here for this, into Markbook, I can get rid of that. Delete that, 70, don't need that. Now this is one thing that does take quite a long time to do in Children's Central, annoyingly. Sometimes it just says we can't format that, you're doing too many things at once. But there we go. Okay, cool. I think this is the one I don't need anymore. Modify and delete that activity. Yes. Right, let's have one last look. I think I've got it all done now. My little computer, internet, e-waste, blender, 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 3D, da da da. Okay, cool. That's great. So there's all my classes done. My courses are done. They're connected to the classes. The classes are looking good. And hopefully that makes things easier for everybody.